Hello and welcome to episode 56 of Things I've Learned from Barry Harris. Today I thought we would talk about something I've been looking at a lot lately that Barry's brought up a million times, which is taking the rules but reversing them. So what he's usually referring to when he talks about that is if we take, let's say, his rules for the half steps, and in this instance we'll use dominant scale, E flat 7 scale, which he likes to play tonic to 7. But if we start doing our descending patterns, we'll say the first rule is that there's a half step between tonic and 7. And let me actually get a little metronome here so we can do it together in tempo so you get to feel it. I usually put this on 2 and 4 and pad on 1 and 3, but I think for the purposes of this, to be less confusing, we'll just keep this on quarter notes. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the first rule, which is 1 half step between tonic and 7. But then we'll do the second. The rule for the second is no half steps. So starting on the second, no half steps. 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's the rule for the second. Or 2 half steps between second and tonic, tonic and 7. 3, 4. 3, 4. Then we have the rule for the third, which is the same as the tonic, except the rule for the third also has 3 and 2 and 2 and 1, and tonic and 7. So it's 1 half step between tonic and 7, or 3 half steps between 3, 2, 2 and 1, tonic and 7. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I'll put 3 half steps. 3, 4. Now what's hip about these rules are the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 7 all go together, where it's either the 1 half step or the 3 half steps. The 2, the 4, the 6 all go together also. Those are either no half steps or 2 half steps. And I think I've done those in previous videos. But what's interesting about reversing the rules is it makes you feel what starting a phrase on the end of a beat is, instead of always starting on a beat. And it also makes you feel how to come out right. It really forces you to do that. So his idea of the rules are reversed is pretty obvious. That now if I'm starting on an and, like if I start a tonic on the end of 1, let's say, now I'm going to do no half steps. So let's see what that sounds like. And more important, let's see what that feels like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, really feel it. 2, 3, 4, 1. Now the rule for the 2 is normally 2 half steps, second and tonic, tonic and 7. But since we're starting on the and, the rule is reversed. So we're going to use the rule for the 1, 3, 5, or 7, which would be 1 half step. So let's try that one. Starting on the second, on the end of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. Now we'll start on the 3. The normal 3 is either 1 half step or 3 half steps. But in this case, the rule is reversed to fit 2. So we're going to put no half steps at first, then we'll try 2 half steps. And again, we're starting on the end of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. That's what you call not feeling it. So here, let me feel it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, 2 half steps, I got to feel it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. Now 4 is going to be the rule for 3, or 1, or 5, or 7, which is 1 half step or 3 half steps. Let's do 1 half step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 3 half steps. 3, 4, and 4, and so on. So you continue that up the scale. Another thing is the rule for when you're playing a normal, when you're playing a third, you would, if you play up a third and then you descend, you're going to use the rule for the next note after you play the third. So in this case, it would be tonic third, and then we're going to end on the second, so we're going to use the rule for the second, which is either 2 half steps or no half steps. Now that's if you start on a beat, so let's just hear that. 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. Or no half steps. 2, 3, 4. Now, if we start on an and, the rule is going to reverse, which means now instead of using the rule for the note that we end after the third, we're going to use the highest note of the third, which would be 3. So 1, 2, so watch, let's see if I can feel this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. The second 2 times I did 3 half steps. And so on. So you see, when you reverse, you start to feel, oh, what does it feel like if I start a phrase on the and instead of on a beat? And then all these rules just reverse. It's really great. So the normal rule for the triad, let's say, would be you have to use the rule for the note that you end on. So if I did a triad from the root 3, 5 of the E flat 7, I'm going to end on the 5, which means I'm going to use the half step rule for the 5, which would be 1 half step or 3 half steps. Let's see what it sounds like. 1 half step. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3 half steps. So both of those are beautiful. You take those on every degree of the scale. But the point of this exercise is to say, okay, if I'm going to start and, if I start on the end, the rules are reversed, which means now instead of 1 half step or 3 half steps, it's going to be no half step or 2 half steps. Let's see if it sounds right. Let's see if I can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I already messed it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 2 half steps. That one feels good. Okay, and so on. And then you do triads, and then you start, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh, that's a nice one too. So if you start on any note, I didn't even think of this one, but I skipped over it. So normally if you start on a note and run up to any other note and then descend back down, you're going to use the rule for the note you started on. So for instance, if I start on tonic and I run up to second or third or fourth or wherever, I'm still going to use the rule for the tonic, which would be 1 half step. So for instance, let me do a few. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the second. Here's the third. Fourth. 3, 4. And so on. I could go up to 6. 7. I could also put 3 half steps. Now that's really pretty. Also things you should practice. But now the opposite is true. If I start on the and, now I'm going to use the rule for the, I guess I'll use the rule for the opposite. So whatever I run up to now, I still have to use the opposite rule. So if I started on tonic, if I start on a beat, it would be 1 half step. But if I start on a tonic and start on the end, it's going to be no half steps or 3 half steps. Let's see if that's correct. I haven't tried these. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. Now let's do 2 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh, I like that one. 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. That was starting on tonic, running up to 3. Still 2 half steps. Do 4. 3, 4, 1. Hey. so on. Man, those are great. Wow, I really have to practice those too. But this is just to show you that even for people like myself who studied with Barry for a long time, you always go back to the well and can learn all these new ways to look at a scale and to create lines. You know, again, all these are great exercises, but the purpose of these exercises are to create lines for improvisation so that you could be one of the better improvisers. I mean, reversing the rules is so special. It's really special. It's another gem that Barry gave us. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed episode 56, which is reversing the rules. Until next time, thanks.